What's up? My name is Theo Kandel. I'm here at WNYU 89.1 FM in the basement. And I'm going to play some songs for you. And this first one is called How Could Anybody? How could anybody ever know me like you? How could anybody do the things you do? 'Cause the world gets scarier, the world gets tough. One day I don't know if I'll be enough. How could anybody ever know me like you? How could anybody say the things you say? How could anybody make me feel okay? Like when I was crying to you sitting in the parking lot, you told me I was special and I know I'm not yet. How could anybody say the things you say? Oh my God, I'm falling for you all over again. I'm just writing you a love song. It's not the first, but it's a good one. It got me shaking like a heart attack. 'Cause how could anybody ever know me like that? I'm not good with my emotions. They toss and turn like the oceans. I just wanna tell you that you're all I have. How could anybody ever know me like that? Yeah. How could anybody see the things we've seen? Traveled the world from California to Chamonix. Oh, we wandered those streets and we drank some wine. Cooked up our dinner on the mountainside, yeah. How could anybody see the things we've seen? Oh my God, I'm falling for you all over again. I'm just writing you a love song. It's not the first, but it's a good one. Got me shaking like a heart attack. 'Cause how could anybody ever know me like that? I'm not good with my emotions. They toss and turn like the oceans. I just wanna tell you that you're all I have. How could anybody ever know me like that? Yeah. How could anybody? How could anybody? How could anybody? Yeah, so I'm gonna keep talking here. That song was called How Could Anybody? It's out. If you liked it, it sounds nothing like that on the recording, but it sounds pretty good, I think. So, for all of you at home, you know, whatever. Camera one, camera two. All right, so this next song, I guess I gotta give a little intro. I'm from New York City originally, so I'm a big Mets fan, and ups and downs, trials and tribulations, you know, just the normal Mets fan kind of stuff. I also have a dog that we've had for a long time, since I was 10 years old. His name is Milo. He's 15 now. When I wrote this song, he was 14, about to be 15. And he's dying big time, big time. I was at my parents' apartment today, and he just splays out. Sad, but lovely. What a lovely life he's had. And I also moved to LA a couple years ago. Great place. Sometimes as a fresh-faced guy going to LA, not always the easiest to make friends, and luckily I moved with a couple of them. That's all to say. The song is called Me and All My Friends Have Got the Blues. Milo is our family dog. He's just about 15. He could be a freshman in high school. he can't get up the stairs at night, and he can hardly see everybody else's dogs are dying too. What a misty night up in the valley. What a shitty party, there's no booze. Nothing ever has a good finale, but that's old news. Me and all my friends have got the blues. Order up another beer at Barney's Beanery. Grab a corner booth and sit a while, craning up our necks so we can all see the TV. Watch an ad for Prozac, crack a smile. What a crowded Thursday night in Hollywood. What a stupid choice to wear new shoes. The Mets are in the bottom ninth and they're not looking good. They're gonna lose. Me and all my friends have got the blues. What do you do when you've been running out of dreams? Our better days are all behind us, so it seems. It's not the living, it's the moments in between. I know it's hard. What a thrilling session for my therapist. What a time-worn story that we choose. A couple 20-somethings and we're scared of it. This life a platitude. Me and all my friends have got the blues. Let's keep on rolling here. This next song came out a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I guess. It's about living far away from someone that you love and it being worth it either way. It's called Flight to JFK. You got a roll of film, oh honey, I got a night to kill. Let's go out in this town and make a little trouble. I got a place in mind, drink a big old beer in a big old stein. We can knock 'em all back till we're seeing double. I like making you laugh, oh honey, I like the smaller back. Run my fingers up and down while we're lying in bed. Let's go walk in the park, we can find a bit of grass till the sky gets dark. I'll bring hummus and a blanket and a bottle of red. And the clouds are bold and bright. California fades away. My heart is full and light on this flight to JFK. If only just to see you for a day. New York winter is cold, oh honey, I run hotter most. Put your hand in my pocket if you need to get warm. Scrabble in the afternoon, cook dinner, pasta with ricotta for two. Sit on the sofa by the fire while we weather the storm. And the clouds are bold and bright. California fades away, and my heart is full at night on this flight to JFK. If only just to see you for a day. Saturday, stumble through the Guggenheim, talking funny accents off and on. Either way, it's nice to hold your hand in mine. It's not a cliche if it's in a song. You always find a way to sing along. You got a roll of film, oh honey, I got a night to kill. Let's go out in this town and make a little trouble. And the clouds are bold and bright, California fades away, and my heart is full at night on this flight to JFK. If only just to see you for a day. Flight to JFK, out now. Just like that, actually. I recorded it in a studio in New York, and it's just me and a guitar. If you like that, then great. If you don't, I don't know what to tell you. It's stop. Stop now. Let me turn up a little bit.
Did you wear a Gallatin hat on purpose? Like, did you know that NYU Gallatin's a school?
Well, I know NYU Gallatin exists, but I got this yesterday in Tennessee, the Gallatin, Tennessee hat. I played in Nashville a couple days ago, and that was very clever. That's a good job.
Nice.
Good catch. I didn't even think about that. Yes. I think I'm gonna do 2 more songs, if that's all right. You know, it's always fun to strip it down a little bit. The live show is a little more upbeat. We got the band we're playing. It's kind of rocky. It's kind of a little pop. It's also got this stuff in there, but yeah, that was this. So this next song is called Grail Quest, and it came out today. I don't know when this is gonna come out, but today is April 14th. Yeah. And so I'm very excited. First time I'm playing it live since it's been out. But I did a series of 3 songs. That last one, Flight to JFK. This one, Grail Quest, and then the next one is called Fig Tree, and that one is gonna come out sometime in May. But they're part of this project called Somewhere Along the Trail, Volume 1. And I recorded them all just live, one take in the studio, just like this, and stripping it back, showing people the songwriting. It's how I started, it's how I want to keep going, and then kind of expand from here. So this one's called Grail Quest. It's about not having met the one, but knowing that they're out there somewhere, and when you meet them, it's going to be like, you always were supposed to know them in the first place. I think that may be true. But here it is, called Grail Quest. Last week, a girl I've been seeing for a couple months sat me down, told me that we should be friends. Well, I can't pretend that I didn't see it coming. Last night I went home with someone I met at the post game. This morning I sat at a diner alone. Should've known that's no way to find loving. You're somewhere on the trail. Maybe I'm on a grail quest. Is it hopeless? But some way, someday, we'll plant a tree in our front yard and it'll reach for the sky as our garden grows. When it's just you and me, drinking coffee or tea in the morning at home. You were always someone that I was bound to know. I wonder if you sleep with socks on, or like to camp under the stars, or do shots at the bar with your friends. I think I like them, but no guarantees. Do you like the smell of the sidewalk right after it rains in July? Do sad songs make you cry in a good way? You know I'm the same way. Just wait and see. You're somewhere on the trail. Maybe I'm on a grail quest. Is it hopeless? But some way, someday, we'll plant a tree in our front yard and it'll reach for the sky as our garden grows. When it's just you and me, drinking coffee or tea in the morning at home. You were always someone that I was bound to know. Plant a tree in our front yard and it'll reach for the sky as our garden grows. When it's just you and me, drinking coffee or tea in the morning at home. You were always someone that I was bound to know. I'm going to play one more song. I got to tune this one a little bit. This one's an open D. For all you crazy guitar people out there, this is not a crazy tuning, but it is a very fun one, and I've written a lot of songs in it. So, for all you people that came to the show at Baby's Alright on Sunday, you'll notice probably that the whole show I was tuning this guitar, and it's an absolute nightmare. One day I'm going to have a ton of money, and then I'm going to have 1 million guitars, and then everyone's going to tune them all for me, and then they're each going to be in a different tuning. For now, I have to make little jokes as I tune this guitar to fill the space. There we go. Is it good enough? Good enough for jazz? Okay, here we go. This is my last song. It's called Half as Cool, and it's a very fun one to play. A little finger guy. And yeah, if you like it, go listen to it. There's also an acoustic version out. And thank you so much for having me. This is a blast. I was in a very similar thing. I went to Vanderbilt, and I was in the WRVU, the studio, and we did some things like this. So it's very cool to see you guys doing this, and I appreciate you having me. My name is Theo Kandel, and this is Half as Cool. I wasn't always so bitter. I wasn't always this jaded and insecure. I used to dream so much bigger. Then woke up in my 20s like, oh, I'm not really sure. Paying my rent is a bummer. Nobody told me that every day looks the same. I have to work in the summer. Used to daydream in color, now I stare into empty space. I shot for the moon, ended up in the atmosphere. Does anybody else hate it here? 'Cause when I wake up, I'm still 13, staying up, drinking soda. But my friends don't sleep over anymore. So I'll ride on my half-pipe dream for as long as I'm able, on the edge of unstable. When I grow up, I just hope I see someone one half as cool as the kid that I used to be. Ooh. Forget to eat until dinner. Stare at my phone till it dies and the screen turns off. I only feel like a winner when I find $20 in the coat that I lost. Yeah, shot for the moon, ended up in the atmosphere. Does anybody else hate it here? 'Cause when I wake up, I'm still 13, staying up, drinking soda. But my friends don't sleep over anymore. So I'll ride on my half-pipe dream for as long as I'm able, on the edge of unstable. When I grow up, I just hope I see someone one half as cool as the kid that I used to be. That kid, yeah. Whoa. That kid, yeah. 'Cause when I wake up, I'm still 13, staying up, drinking soda. But my friends don't sleep over anymore. So I'll ride on my half-pipe dream for as long as I'm able, on the edge of unstable. When I grow up, I just hope I see someone one half as cool, one half as cool, someone one half as cool as the kid that I used to be. Nice. Thank you. That was half as cool. I'm Theo Kandel. And this is WNYU, 89.1 FM.
All right, you're listening to WNYU 89.1 and WNYU.org, and I'm here today with Theo Kandel. Theo, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. A little sweaty, but what are you gonna do?
It's warm outside.
It is warm.
It is very warm.
Humid.
Do I say welcome home? Do you consider New York your home still?
Yeah. I grew up here like my whole life. So, and I left for college, and then I guess I haven't really lived here since, but it feels like my home still. I still get angry every time I get back here, you know? Like I feel the rage seeping into my body.
The rage?
As I'm like, yeah, I'm just always angry in New York. In a good way. Like,
Okay.
I feel like it's a healthy thing, but I'm like flying in to LaGuardia and I'm like, let's go, come on. And then, you know. So yes.
So welcome home.
Thank you.
Currently on tour. How has that been going?
It's been going really well. This is my first national headline tour, official one.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And it's been great. We've done 6 of the 9 shows so far. And we've been West Coast, we've been in the Midwest, we've been in the South, and it's been cool to see people come out and sing the songs, which I never thought would happen, but here we are.
That's so great. And speaking of your songs, you know, you've been doing this quite a long time. What got you into songwriting?
The first song I ever wrote was in 6th grade with my friend Ben. It was a co-write even back then. We were trying to. I had started playing guitar that year, and we were trying to write a song for a girl I had a crush on.
As one
And
does.
we wrote a whole song, or we wrote like the chorus to a song, and then I finished it, and I was like, I feel like I could do this more. That's not what really got me into songwriting, but that was the first one. What got me into it was then in middle school and then in high school, really listening to a lot of these folk artists from the 60s and 70s. So like Inside Llewyn Davis was one of my favorite movies. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's Oscar Isaac. It's a Coen Brothers movie, and it follows this dude based on the life of Dave Van Ronk, who's like a folk artist in New York, like around here in the 60s. So that kind of music, like the Bob Dylan, Simon and Garfunkel, even like the Townes Van Zandt kind of stuff, that's what really gave me some inspiration growing up and starting to write songs. And then as I explored more of those genres and found, I guess I grew up with James Taylor also, but Jackson Brown, um, Carole King, or I just kept kind of developing that sound. And then over the years, edged toward pop a little more or indie rock or whatever, but the basis of the songwriting is all in folk. So that's what I try to keep it. That's how I try to keep all the songs centered.
That's great. I love that. And especially with your newest song released today at the time of recording, Grail Quest. Congratulations. You want to talk a little about your process for where that song came from and how it came to be?
Yeah. So I wrote it in LA about a year ago, and it's all true. I mean, they're all true. All the songs are true. I haven't yet written a song that hasn't happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I'll do that. I may do that at some point, but
he's a liar.
Yeah, I know. I was seeing this girl. She ended things, and it's that moment when you've been messing around or just like trying to find people that work with you. And I've always been a romantic at heart, so I always felt like there was someone out there for me. And so that's where the song came from, the idea of like you're out there. Like that was the crazy thing to me. Like I know that the person that I will marry was out there.
Mm-hmm.
Or be forever together with. And that was a cool idea. So I wanted to flesh that out a little bit. And then my uncle, Jerry, like a year ago passed away, or while I was writing the song, he passed away. It was sudden, but I got to see him before he died. And one of the last things he said to me was, he said, like, Theo, there's a world in which we're both 25 years old at the same time, and we're best friends. And then he was like, leaning back, and he was like, somewhere along the trail. And I was like, that's pretty good. So I wrote that, obviously sad, but he was a big fan of my music and was always inspiring to me. So I wanted to use that song, that line somewhere. And so that's where it came, somewhere on the trail in the song itself, and then in the name of the project, somewhere along the trail.
Mm-hmm. That's great. And you said that this song and this last one, Flight to JFK, and then your new one, which you have
Fig Tree.
Fig Tree.
No one knows about this yet.
I'm very happy
Well, some people know about this, yeah.
Happy to be the public release of that, so
Yeah.
to speak. So just you said that, and you were writing about how it's more like being true to yourself and your self-expression. How many volumes do you think this is going to like go through, and where do you see this going?
Well, the problem is that I've always had is I have so many songs that I've written that I think are good, and I really want to put them out, and don't know how to produce them. Or I mean, like I produce, but haven't figured out how to produce them. And they're all kind of folk, but I don't want to put out a full album of just finger picking folk because I think that gets boring. It gets boring to me, and so the idea was to put out this volume, 3 songs, bam, volume 1. And then my idea was right after that, bam, volume 2, bam, volume 3. Could have volume 4. But now I'm putting it into perspective a little bit, and I'm like, maybe I should take my time with this one and have this be a thing that I do like once a year, somewhere along the trail, volume X, go into a studio, record them live, one take, me and a guitar. And that's what it is, and that's how they exist. They could be songs that I've written that have come out yet, or maybe unreleased ones, but that's now kind of my plan. We'll see. It always changes.
That's a good plan.
Yeah, thanks.
I like that plan. Backtracking a little bit, you said that you now live in LA.
Mm-hmm.
You grew up here.
Mm-hmm.
You spent some time in Nashville in college.
Yep.
Which one do you think was the best to live in, and which one do you think was the best to write music in? And if they're different, maybe they're the same.
Well, they're all different.
Mhm.
In Nashville, everyone wants to work with everybody, and that's a nice thing. And it's kind of an annoying thing sometimes too, but it generally is a nice thing. I write a lot of my songs, most of my songs on my own, but I do write a lot with other people. And so that's a fun environment to create in. And I've always, every time I'm in Nashville, I'm like making music with people. LA is kind of like that. It's a little more separated, I think. You have to like get your way into a crowd of people and then doors start opening up. New York, I don't even know. Like I've heard things. I like kind of get the sense that it's more of an insular kind of community where people have their things that they do, the little groups that they work with, and then they maybe branch out sometimes. But I'm excited to explore that more. I have always just found that I write the most when I have done the most amount of things recently. Where like if I've been sitting around at home for 6 months, I'm gonna write some music, but I can't write about nothing, about lying in bed. I mean, I have done that, but like no one wants to hear that as much as having experiences and writing about them, and hopefully them being relatable, accessible enough.
So having lived in some of these like huge music cities, like some of the biggest in the country, how do you think that's shaped the way you both view your music and how you write your music?
It's always I'm such a I can't curse. I'm just like a little curmudgeon. Like I'm a counterculture. Like not that I'm like, oh, I'm counterculture. It's like when I was in New York, I don't know what New York, you couldn't really categorize New York music as a thing, but like I was writing a lot of folk just growing up. So I was still trying to figure it all out. I moved to Nashville, which has a lot of country, has a lot of folk, has a lot of Americana. And I start writing like pop or like neo soul kind of stuff, which sucked. Like it's not what I wanted. It wasn't true to me.
Right.
But then again, I was getting experience and I was like making new things that I wouldn't have made before. Then I moved to LA, which is pop and indie rock and whatever you want it to be. I mean, it's everything, but those are the kind of spheres that I'm in. And now I start writing folk again or country-ish Americana adjacent songs. So that's the way it's worked. You know, I'm always I annoy myself with my tendency to like be against whatever the place I'm at is into. So who knows?
I don't know if I consider that a bad thing. Or
No, it's not a bad thing. It's just like, ugh, come on, Theo. Like these songs would have done so well in Nashville if you went and were playing them at like a Nashville writers round. That's perfect. So why couldn't you have done that before? But the nice thing is now I can travel to all the places and, do whatever I want.
That's very true. I feel like this will be. You've done so many like different types of like these new ones. And then you've got a song like Elegy, which like has that huge build up at the end. Which go listen to it if you haven't. Fantastic song, fantastic EP. What if it all works out in the end?
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm plugging for you.
Yeah, that was good.
Do you have a favorite song that you've written? And maybe like for the different like genres of where you consider yourself to be at.
I think that my favorite song that I've written is probably Me and All My Friends Have Got the Blues because it feels so it's close to everything that I grew up listening to. It's like a little bit of John Prine, a little bit of James Taylor, a little bit of Jackson Brown and folk artists from this, whatever 60s, 70s. I think it captures something well that's a general thing while being really specific. I think that was fun to write and it was easy to write. It was one of those songs that I just like had this the riff on the guitar and then the melodies and then I was like bam 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 and that feels good. I would say Elegy is probably my favorite produced song. So I co-produce all of my music, so whether it's me recording it in my bedroom and then bringing it to one of my friends to help produce, or whatever, in any form I'm co-producing. So Elegy I worked on with my friends Ali Lakhani and Ben Pleasant. Ali is a really good producer and rapper and artist. He was going by Lakhani before, now he's just Ali, ALY. And I had most of it produced, but they were like, we got to make this ending big. And I was like, I don't know what you mean. I can't do that. So we found some good drum samples that we ran through Ben's amp out into a microphone to record them again, to distort them. Reamp, some of the kids would call it. And we did that with some vocals. We did that with like a lot of the things in it to make it really big. And it ended up being really cool. So I'm proud of that one. I think that one is an interesting one to play on guitar. It's an interesting one to play live. The production is cool and different. Someone called it freak folk once.
Freak folk.
And
Okay.
that seems cool. I'm down for that.
You're an innovator now.
Yeah, I know. Wow. Reamp. But yeah, that's my answer.
That's awesome. Just you say you've got all these, you've been writing and now you're performing and now you've had all these releases as well. What do you think has been a defining moment in your career that really has stuck out to you in what you've done throughout your entire life?
Damn, that is a tough question. I don't know. It's a weird one. Like, normally my answer would have been, we did a Bowery Ballroom show last year, which was really cool. And it was a huge crowd. Most of them for me, or some of them for me. But the crowd was there when I was playing, at least. And that was a great moment to be back here and doing that. Hopefully that happens on Sunday. But I think one of the best moments is just like a DM I got recently from someone who just said they were going through a tough time and they found my music and it really helped them. And I'm sure artists get that all the time in their DMs, but I haven't gotten that really. I mean, maybe a couple times, but this one really stuck out to me. I don't know why. It was just so cool to think that I could have made something that made someone's life better in some way or changed it in some way. And that's my goal, is to make music that I want to make, that people want to listen to and can relate to. And I've had so many songs in my life that have hit me at the right time and changed something. And it's crazy. It is crazy to think that my music could do that in some way. So that was a cool moment. It was a quiet moment.
Well, I mean, that's fantastic. I mean, that's the dream, right? Like being able to connect with someone on such that level.
Yeah.
And going back to, you said that one of your favorite songs, you're right, that is actually my favorite song.
Yeah.
My Friends That Got the Blues. With that song and like also these last two releases, you've really like stripped everything back. Like you said, it was live, just you and your guitar, with really putting the focus on the lyricism. And you have such this insane way of being able to paint a picture that is so distinct and immediately relatable with your lyricism. How does the way you think about your lyrics, how has that changed over time?
It changes a lot. It changes per song too. So like at the same time that I was writing Me and All My Friends Have Got the Blues, I wrote Moving Slowly, which is like a nothing song, I was like just like in my apartment just like vibing one day, and I was like, slowly, and it ended up being this fun song, which is really fun to play and fun to record. But lyrically, I didn't want to make something that was intellectual in some way. I was an English major in college, and I always make these jokes on stage too, but it's like a lot of my songs are kind of heady, but I want them to be relatable. And so the way I think, like, for Flight to JFK, there's the bridge, which is like Saturday, stumble through the Guggenheim, whatever, that kind of stuff. And all these little moments, which I think of as like the song America by Simon and Garfunkel. One of my favorites, I guess it's the bridge where it's like you said, the man in the gabardine suit is a spy. I said, be careful, his bow tie is really a camera. I'm like, that's so silly, Simon.
What are you
and
doing?
Garfunkel. Like, come on. But it's so fun. And the key to me is finding ways to be really specific in your writing, but not so specific that it becomes inaccessible to people.
Right.
Like, I don't think I'm doing anything in my life that's so crazy different than what anyone else could be doing. But even making some experience all about yourself or about me and forgetting that you're making it for people. You know, someone told me this thing recently where they're saying, like, the minute you release music, it's not yours anymore.
Mm.
And I think that's a cool thing. So when I write songs, I'm not thinking, how are people going to like this? But I'm always thinking, will people relate to this? Will people, have people had similar experiences? But it varies. It varies. I find the more I write specifically and truthfully about my own life, the more people relate to it, which seems counterintuitive, but like, it's the reason why, I don't know, just all the music that people like can be really specific, and the music you forget, the music that just like plays on the speakers somewhere that's too general for you to actually sink your teeth into.
There you go.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, that was great. Thank you. Do you have any like specific goals you're looking forward to in the future? Any specific collabs? Any specific venues or festivals or anything like that?
Yeah, I really want to play. I have 2 venue goals. I have 3 venue goals.
All right.
I just came up with a third one, but Red Rocks,
Mm-hmm.
the Ryman in Nashville,
Mm-hmm.
and Forest Hills here, which I saw I saw Bon Iver at Forest Hills, and it was like the craziest concert, and it was so fun.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the venues. I have a couple like bucket list items. Tiny Desk, obviously,
Right.
would be great. Hot Ones interview, which I really want to do, and I love Wings.
Sean Evans, get on it.
Yeah, I know. Come on, man. And a Nationwide commercial where I get to do the little riff and I sing the song. That, and the last thing, and I've been saying this so long, I want to do a collaboration with Miller High Life so badly. It's my favorite beer. I think I can say that, right?
Yeah, you can say
I'm 26. It's fine.
it's fine.
My favorite beer, Champagne of Beers. Miller, I'm looking for you. Come look for me one day.
Make it happen. Come on. Oh man. Well, as someone who writes songs as well, like the way that you write and like have been able to show these things to the world is truly such an inspiration. So what do you think is the best piece of advice you could give someone trying to get to where you're at?
It's going to sound so stupid, and I know it does, and I've gotten this advice before, and I always hated getting this advice. But maybe you can take it. I feel weird giving advice always because it's always a perspective thing, like I'm not
That's true.
where I want to be. So to me, I'm like, how could I give advice?
Mm.
I don't think I'd ever get to where I want to be. So maybe that's the lesson there, but you got to just keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I would go into meetings when I first got to Nashville with publishers or with whoever people in the industry, just like a favor meeting. And their advice was always, it was just keep writing, which I thought was a rejection, and it was for sure. But it was also just like keep doing. Like I am now writing the songs that I wished I could have written when I was 18, and when I'm in 32, I hope to be writing the songs that I wish I could be writing now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things where like anything, the more you do it, the better you get.
Right.
And the more you tour, the less the driving sucks. And the more you play shows, the more you know how to interact with the crowd. And it's just all, you just got to keep doing it. There are a lot of people that get frustrated. I get frustrated all the time. Like, I don't think things are moving fast enough, or I want to be here and I see one of my friends who's this far, and it's so frustrating. But like, the only thing you can do is keep going. And even now I have friends that are like edging away from music that are, it's not giving up, but it's like moving on a little bit,
Right.
or, and that's fine. Totally respect that. But I think the key is just to like keep going. Like, something has to give at some point, And if it doesn't, you just keep pushing and pushing and pushing and chipping away. And then, you have, I don't know, I was trying to make an analogy. You have a sculpture, you keep chipping away. No, I mean, you keep,
Yeah,
I don't
that
know.
works.
You know
No,
what I mean?
That definitely works.
You're tunneling through, I don't know. Something like
Something
that.
like that.
Yeah.
The analogy's there. I see
Yeah.
it. I'm with you on that one. And of course, I have to save the most important 2 questions for last.
Mhm.
Where's the best place to get a slice of New York pizza?
I may get some hate for this one.
Uh-oh.
I think that any dollar slice pizza is more often than not better than any artisan slice of pizza.
Okay.
So like Two Brothers Pizza, which is like all over, or whatever. It's just good. You get a slice for $1. You get a pie for $8,
Mhm.
and it's good pizza. And it's generally pretty crispy on the bottom too, so you can walk with it. Put a little Parmesan cheese on top.
Of course.
I had some good pizza recently, but it wasn't good enough for me to remember the name. So
Dang.
dollar slice. Dollar slice.
Dollar slice. That's the.
But
that's
I'm a
that's the
halal boy at
pinnacle.
heart.
Okay. All right.
Every time I'm here, that's all I eat pretty much. And I think halal gets a bad rep also. People are like food poisoning. I'm like, come on. I've got more food poisoning from a restaurant than a halal cart.
Yeah. There's a halal cart right outside of my apartment that I go to all the time.
Hell yes.
It's the best.
It's the best. It's the best. And it doesn't exist pretty much anywhere else in the States. I mean, it does in some places, but it doesn't exist at this scale. Like in LA, we've got our tacos, which is sick. Get my burritos, get my tacos from my truck. But here it's halal.
There's your love.
Yeah.
You gotta get some while you're back here for a
I
little
will.
bit.
You better believe it.
Awesome. And final question: How do you feel about the Mets so far this season? Where do you think they're gonna go? What do you think
It was a heartbreaker losing Diaz in the World Baseball
that
Classic.
was tough.
It's just, oh God, I have high hopes.
Okay.
I have high hopes. The beginning of the season never matters. I almost don't want us to be ahead in the summer because this is what happens. This is what happened last year. This is what happens
exactly
every
what
time.
happened last season.
I want us to be like nipping at the heels of probably the Braves. And because one of my best friends is a Braves fan also. So I hated seeing that happen. He called me after that series, like the last series last year when they went 3-4.
That's brutal.
Oh, God. I'm feeling optimistic.
Okay.
We've got a lot of money in the team now.
That is true.
We've got some good pitchers. We've got some good hitters. Like, I haven't gone to a game yet this season, but I'm going to. I guess it just started, so
That is
I'm
true.
gonna figure out a way.
You got time.
You gotta believe. You gotta believe,
You gotta
man.
believe.
I went in 2016 to one of the games.
Oh,
In
really?
the World Series. It was so... No, 2015. That's what it was. I was a freshman. And I went to the one that they won.
There you go. It's because you were there.
It's because I was there. They break your heart.
Oh,
But if you're a Mets fan, you know, and you know other Mets fans are just, you're loyal. It's like being a Cubs fan, too. Oh, man.
Baseball. Well, Theo Kandel, thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
here in the basement with us. Grail Quest out now. Fig Tree coming out sometime in May. Sometime in May. Off of Somewhere Along the Trail, Volume 1.
Woo.
Thank you again so much for being here.
Thank
Seriously.
you.
Oh, my goodness.
Thank you.